All right, so for today, all we're doing is reviewing your homework, wrapping up the chapter, maybe doing a little bit of review at the end. We will see how much time we end up having.
So are we having the test tomorrow?
Yes. So, chapter, what?
Oh, okay.
Well, so that's still, we're split. There were more people who voted for test tomorrow. So, being that it's fresh in your brain, depending on how many questions we have today, if we end class today seeming like we're okay, we'll take the test tomorrow. And then I will have some kind of chalk talk sort of thing to help you guys with 11. I'll probably just come in over the weekend and record to an empty room. Lynn?
On the test, will we have the
Formulas? I'd prefer that you memorize them because there's not very many. The main ones, and we're going to talk about them today, the main ones that you need are that for a prism, so surface area is similar, right? So we have 2 times the big B plus the lateral area for your prism because it's the base doubled. Do this print? Oh, okay. It's the base doubled because you have 2 of them, and then that big rectangle all the way around. For cylinders, it's the same thing, except now your lateral area is calculated using the circumference around and then the height. Volume, we really just use big B times H or 1/3 big B times H. And then our sphere formulas are that 4/3 pi r cubed or 4 pi r squared. Yeah, I'm really debating. Let me think on that for a minute. I might let you guys have a note card. Yeah.
For 3A, is that alright if we just put hexagon?
Yeah, the reason that they have right is that this is vertical. It's not leaning. But most of the prisms we deal with are right prisms. Because you could have a prism that is an oblique prism. What? So take, okay, if you want an oblique cylinder, hold the bottom stable, slide the top to the left, but keep them both flat. So this is still a right cylinder because it's still 90 degrees. But if the bottom was flat and then this was angled and the top was flat, that'd be an oblique prism. So again, in like a 3D modeling, if you can keep the bottom the same and it's like stacked and you can drag the top, yeah, that becomes oblique. Oblique's a fun word to say. Yeah. All right, so let's start running through these. 1, 2, and 3. Anything for 1 and 2? Because I've got a question on 3.
I
Second the question on 3. So, if we want to find the surface area, we need to find the area of the base, which involves first breaking up the hexagon so that we can deal with it. So when I break up that hexagon, I have that this is 4, or I can make them into right triangles of 2 and 2. Can somebody help me through this? Otherwise, I'm just going to like spoon feed it to you guys. Because I can solve this 2 different ways. I can break it into right triangles, or is that a hand? Okay, Michelle.
So the angle at the top is 60 degrees?
Yeah, because I have 6 sides, I know this has to be 60.
And then if you break it into right triangles, you could do like, it comes to 30, 60, 90.
Yeah, if I break it into a right triangle, that now tells me that this angle is 60, and my top angles would each be 30. Now I've got the 30, 60, 90 special right triangle, Calvin.
Are you solving for the base area?
Yeah, because it wants surface area, total surface area. The question was on D.
Okay.
They asked me about D. So we'll end up finding the lateral area, but I'm going first to base area.
I'm saying because it's given. Then C.
Oh, well, okay. But were you able to solve C okay, and then just when you went from C to D, you had the issue, or what?
I found C okay, and then I found C okay also.
Did you find B okay?
Yeah.
So you have B and C, but your issue
Is D.
is D? How so?
No idea.
Like, what'd you get? Because if you got B and you got your C, all D is the sum, but realize that C is already your doubled base.
Yeah, I got. Oh, wait. 48 for some reason.
You added what?
I did 216 plus 48 for some reason.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
because,
know.
oh, I know I did. I did 4 plus something and I doubled that.
Yeah, okay. So are you okay now?
Yeah.
Michelle, you okay now?
I got it correct now, but I don't know what I did before.
Okay. But moving forward, you'd know how to handle one of these?
Yeah.
Okay. Rest of the page, 4 through 8. 4 through 8. Any questions? Move into the back. Guys, being that I don't think I had this posted on Schoology, you should be checking your answers because I don't think I had this posted on Schoology. So your attention should be on this. Anything from 9 through 12? 11. Find the surface area of each cylinder in terms of pi. So for my base area, pi times the 11 squared. 11 squared is 121. So then my 2 times my big B will be 242 pi. To find my lateral area, that's going to be my circumference times my height. So my circumference is pi times the diameter, which is 22, times the height of 4, gives me 88 pi. And when I add these together, yeah, that's why we're checking this out before the test, so you guys can find those things and fix them. Other questions, 9 through 12.
Oh, yeah.
12 through 15. Yeah, so I used pi times diameter.
Right.
So instead of using 2 pi r, I just went ahead and doubled my radius.
Okay. I was just blanking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 through 15. Anything from 9-1?
I had a quick question on number 4, sorry.
You're okay. So what was your question specifically?
I got a surface area of 396.
You made her calculated the volume?
So our perimeter, so if we look at like the lateral area where they start us, we found out the perimeter of the base shape is 21, but then that is going to need to be multiplied by what?
30.
The 30. So that comes out to be
60. Wait,
630.
yeah, 630.
Oh, I'm sure I just switched around the numbers and I wrote 360.
Okay, just got a little dyslexic.
Probably.
Because then we find the bases and add them together. Yeah.
Is there a shape where the surface area is bigger than the volume?
No.
Unless the
I
shape is
don't
hollow.
think so.
Yeah, I got it. No.
Like not a solid.
Yeah.
But if you had like a donut type shape,
Excuse this
then we could make
interruption.
that
Could I please
happen.
have Michaela to the office? Michaela
Think about, like-
McCarty-Williams.
Think about like a pool noodle sort of object that you can like bend into like a donut. We could make the math work for that. We can essentially make whatever we want happen in certain constraints. So yeah, but I don't think there's a solid. Don't quote me on it, but I don't think so.
So it would have to be like a hollow.
Sure, I don't care. All right, let's go to 9-2. Was that G or K?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we did all K. It's all okay.
Which one's harder?
G's the harder. Well, and it's not always a difficulty difference. It's just how the questions are written and phrased and how many questions there are. There tends to be less questions on the K forms.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know that this work takes time, so I wanted to give you guys less questions. All right, 1 through 5. We're using the formula of 1/3 big B times H. Or, sorry, they're right on surface area. Sorry, so that's 1/2 the lateral area plus big B. If you compare it to the prism formula. Really, it's just half of everything if you compare to the prism formula. We good through 5? Yeah, Carmen?
I have a question on number 4. I was confused on how to find the base.
So you don't need to, because they only want lateral area. So that's the thing. You, you don't have enough information. If we knew that it was a regular base, then we could figure out, well, it'd still be really difficult. I think we could work a way to build this right triangle like we've done before to figure out. So if we were going to try to find the base, even though we don't need to, I would try to drop an altitude that could then come out here and you'd split all of these.
Excuse the interruption. Could I please have Lynn Vandelay to the
But
office?
you would need to find that distance into the middle, and it would need to be symmetric all the way around, and we don't have all of those details.
Well, I think we do know that all of the sight lines of the base are the same because to be in order to be
Right, so what I'm saying is we would have to solve a few things to get to being able to solve for the base. We could do it, but with what we're given, we can't yet. Rick?
Can you do 6? I got 331.
Oh no, I didn't see anything.
Couldn't find anything.
Couldn't find
If
anything?
it's taking that long.
So, start with the easy part. The base is going to be 8 squared, 64. Now, I'm going to do the square, or the, let's say, the prism lateral area. That's going to be the perimeter around the prism, so 8, 8, 8, and 8, times the height of that prism, and that gives me 160.
Okay.
Then I'm going to do the pyramid lateral area, which is half that perimeter, which the perimeter has to be the same, times the slant height, which if you see where it connects down here, that slant height is given to me as 6. So that's really 3 times 32, which is 96. And that should come out to be 320. So just check your work. You might have an arithmetic mistake somewhere. Some of these are a little hard to visualize, so try to check, does it go to the center or does it meet up at the edge? So if you acted like this 6 was the height,
Yeah, I think
and then you calculated the slant height as if it was the hypotenuse, you would have gotten a slightly bigger answer.
Yeah,
So that might have been the issue, because if you treated this as a 4 and that as a 6, 16 plus 36, so you'd have square root of 50, which is like just over 7. So yeah, that would have given you a slightly larger answer, because then your slant here would have been 7. That's probably what you did.
Yeah.
Like this would have been slightly over 7, and then you would have gotten slightly more. Anything else from the front? Go into the back. cones here. Any help needed with that?
On 15, I got the
On 15?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You know it's just lateral area, right?
Oh, I forgot to, I did.
Yeah.
So if you had it in pi terms, Rhea, that would have been 1050.1 pi. So how do we calculate the lateral? We're going to do 15 right now. How do we calculate the lateral area on a cone? Because we said that it's a portion of a circle. It's kind of close to half the circle. What?
I thought it was the circumference
Times 4? Because I don't know how that necessarily relates to like different sizes of, like, so we're trying to find the lateral area around, right? That part of the cone that, like, we unfold, it's that weird portion of the circle. Michelle?
Pi times radius times slant height.
Pi times the radius times the slant height. So here's the thing.
Well, technically it's 1/2 2 pi times the radius times the slant height, but 1/2 and the 2 pi cancel each other out.
So hold on, let's look at that one. 1/2 2 pi times radius times slant height. So what is this really? It's
A circle.
half the circumference times the slant height. So if you want to use circumference, it's half the circumference times the slant height. So if the radius and the slant height are the same, then it makes a full circle. If the radius of the base and the slant height are the same, like when you unfold it, it'd be a full circle. Right now, we use any of these formulas because they're all the same. So if we use my pi times r times L, my radius here is
17.5.
17.5, and my slant height is 30. Let's make sure that calculates out correctly.
Is it 525?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting now too. Are you sure about your formula?
Yeah, I went back in the notes. So that's
Yeah, it's like, but we used perimeter instead of circumference, I think, when we first started.
pi without calculating.
Wait,
I did not use the pi.
I think I know why you got the wrong answer. I think 35 is the radius.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Well, then wouldn't it point in the middle? Why would it point in the middle of the
but
radius?
usually
check
it's
it. Just check
He's
it.
right.
halfway.
He's right. So here's the issue. This is one of those. Yeah. So if you had, hold on, because this doesn't matter. Like, I don't grade for right versus wrong. We're just making sure we understand what we're doing. If you had 525 pi, or if you had, crap, go back. 1,649, you're fine. You treated the radius as 17.5. If you treat the radius, so here, I'll write that up here. 1,649. If you treated the radius as 35, then you get your 32.99. That was misleading how that is pointing there, but Calvin has a point. When they point to the middle of this, even though the line stretches all the way across, if it was the diameter, they'd probably point there.
Or they just, like, in problem 13, they just put tenths in. Like,
Yeah, or like in 16, they only draw the line halfway. So it's very clear.
but then
I know.
14, they
I am
do the
as
same
annoyed as you
thing.
are.
Wait. In 14, they do the same thing, but in 14, it's 3.
I'm as annoyed as you are. We are trying to totally ditch Pearson, but as of right now, this is the content that we have. So there are errors, occasionally.
Wait, what are you trying to change to then?
Yeah, what are we going?
We don't know yet. We haven't decided.
Yeah, because in
You're trying to get rid of
14, the
yours.
radius.
Well, we like our contract with them. This is the last year. So unless we renew the contract, we are open to go to another publisher, and we're going
keep all
to.
these like notes and stuff. You still get to keep all the notes and then the answer key.
I mean, they can't take it back from me.
You're not gonna wipe your hard drive.
It just they wouldn't have.
Like, I haven't logged into Pearson this whole year. Like, I just don't use it anymore. I use all my files. Anything else from the front page? Sorry for the radius confusion. Go into the back. Wait.
19.
Yes, I agree with Calvin.
Surface area of a cone is 55 pi.
Wait, Calvin, what'd you get?
7.
Okay, I got 11.
I got 6. I got 6.
I think Parmesan.
Wait. What? Never mind, I'm dumb.
Wait.
I subtracted 25 from 55 and I got 35.
That's something I would do.
So,
More like
if we divide by 5 pi,
That's you need to put pi r squared on the right side of the equation.
What?
no, because pi r squared is for the, oh, surface area. Sorry, I was reading this as being lateral area. So that's total surface area. Sorry, I wasn't with you right yet. So this is still plus pi r squared. So this is lateral area times pi r squared. Then we can get it down to where it needs to be. So this is still, yeah, I should reset all of this. Do you need to see it now, or with that cleared up, does that make sense? Okay.
I got the 11 part.
This one should go real fast, so I'm going to sit down.
Candy?
A mint?
A dumb bin.
Hey, every time you ask.
I didn't ask. Okay. What?
Okay, I'll check your Hudson. I see you. I see you.
Straight balling. Hey,
Mr. Hudson's like a PG El Chapo.
Mr. Hudson, you're like the PG El Chapo.
No, I'm running out.
I didn't get what Emma got. Scarlet.
There you go, buy more.
Look it up. Michelle, you already got one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Stop lying.
I actually did not.
I saw him throw it at me.
Yeah, we went far. I think Caleb took it.
Oh.
Michelle.
He snagged it.
Anybody else?
Sniped. Get it on her desk.
Look me up.
Calvin, if you caught that
Okay.
equal now.
Okay.
Did you already get one? You already have
I
one.
was
Hey, leave one for Lynn if she comes back.
Lynn's not coming back.
Okay.
I don't think right.
Lynn's not coming.
Thank you.
You can have
I think
this.
we got one. So moving on. This should be fast now that you all have your mints.
Now our brains are working.
Now your brains are working.
Uh-huh.
Scarlet, I got your mint.
Isn't that just a myth?
That's so cute.
I'm a good friend.
Mints.
We're on 9-3. Everything okay, Scarlett? Scarlett, everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I pointed out today, by the way. Argyle. Argyle. You gotta match your patterns.
What's an Argyle?
Argyle is this pattern, or this pattern.
That's
It's like that's what it's called.
Argyle.
You know how stripes are stripes and polka dots are polka dots?
That sounds like
This is Argyle.
insane asylum. Argyle.
Diamond patterns.
You going to Argyle?
Can I scroll?
Yes, that's correct.
Kind of.
And now it's 2 more days until we get them.
I didn't ask. I said I got candy. I didn't ask for candy.
Wait, I have a question. If we ask multiple times in a single day, does that like compound?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Huh?
Keep on stacking
Huh?
up.
No, wait.
No, he's just talking about asking. Any other questions in front?
Wait, I'm confused. He just asked her can you said, oh no, not 2 more
I
days.
only think
I
compound
see what
interest.
you did there.
Oh, okay. Now,
That's because it adds together, then it adds a bigger number. Bigger than
I like compound interest. It makes you lots of money.
And the more money you start with, the more money you
Unless you're on a loan
Well, yeah, then it does.
and you're paying compound interest, like credit
that's even
cards.
Oh, you're late.
Credit cards, some of those essentially do compound interest.
You're gonna be in debt.
If they do compound interest, do they take a smaller amount of interest than if you went on the compound?
Yeah.
Oh no, that doesn't change.
That'd be
No.
weird, because then you have to pay
You
more.
agree to whatever interest rate you agree to, and the interest rate that you get, and I've heard 8th grade talking about this, relates back to your credit score.
Yeah.
So the better your credit score, the less interest you'll have to pay, which is ridiculous because, like, there are reasons why it's good.
Bad system for poor people.
Yeah, it's a bad system for poor people because if you can't get a good credit card that lets you borrow money at a decent rate, then you end up having to borrow money at a higher rate, and then you end up in a higher debt situation, and it's harder to pay back your debt, which you can't pay back because you don't have enough money. Like,
Lower credit score.
it's a cyclical, vicious cycle. So really, the best thing to do if you don't have much money is don't put things on a credit card,
Debit card.
debit card or cash.
Right.
My grandpa
No,
always
but
used
cash
to
would
have
have to carry like.
I know, and it can be stolen, and yeah, we did the cash versus credit unit last year.
Wait.
Yes, we.
Wait, for a debit card, do you also need the PIN? Like,
Not always. You can run your debit card as a credit card,
oh.
but it doesn't run as a credit card. It's just how it charges the
Right.
account. Can I scroll? I like your guys' foundations. Because I have 3 prep periods, I'm not supposed to teach foundations so that we're like contractually even.
Why aren't you so
What?
I have to prep for 3 different math classes.
Oh.
Your history teacher preps for 1 class. Your science teacher preps for 1 class because they do the same class for everybody. Because I have so much extra prep work, same with Mr. Hall, we don't teach foundations. We're not supposed to.
Is it hard to prep for this?
Depends. Like the first couple years it was, but now that we're kind of in a flow, like I've made all these notes now, so I don't have to make any more notes. I know like what forms I'm using, so it's first couple years it was pretty darn rough. And the first year I taught, can I switch to the next page?
Yeah.
First year I taught, we were on the Ohio Academic Content Standards. Then we switched to Common Core and everything changed. So everything I did my first year essentially didn't matter.
Wait, well, didn't you say if we're gonna switch again, that all that's gonna be like not?
Yeah, hopefully Trump just leaves things how they are.
I don't
Wait,
think.
you didn't like the Common Core.
Wait, well, you have to change from Pearson though? Wouldn't that mess the whole thing up?
No, but wait, but couldn't you? still
Pearson's
use
the
those?
publishing company.
Yeah.
Common Core is the standards.
Okay.
So there are multiple publishing companies that use the same standard. That like all of them in Ohio use the Common Core because that's what we
Was it
use.
the same like
Is that-
test
is
answers and stuff?
It was what?
Is it the same like questions and answers?
Same standards, same goals, different ways of getting there.
But then what you have to do, you do all this stuff.
Not necessarily. If the standards stay the same, then
Yeah,
not
so
necessarily.
what,
But if
the
the standards
standards
change
No, but then
dramatically,
why does the new publishing affect you?
because then we would be teaching from different materials. Like they might like have a textbook for you instead of like just being online and notes and things like that. So that's the changes that it would make. We got to get through checking this though. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Any questions there?
Yeah, I don't want to carry this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Caleb almost falls apart as it is.
Yeah, dude, I can barely carry like 2 pounds. I ain't kidding.
All right, scrolling. They see me scrolling.
Stop!
Do
Stop!
that.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
Yes.
Everybody flashlight. Cracking myself.
Trying to catch me finding volume. Finding volume.
That fire mixtape.
Stop.
Stop, please.
No, why would you? Don't. Just don't
They say
confidence.
volume is 1/3 the base area times the vertical height of it.
I'm done.
Mr. Hudson, you should just.
This is how I get
go to,
YouTube
like,
famous math raps.
academic rapping.
Can I go to the back? No questions, we're all good? Cones, we're okay? Ooh, what?
No, I'm doing it.
I just had to check the answer on the last question.
Mr. Hudson, you should break this and go to academic rapping.
Spitting bars.
Like bars.
Spitting knowledge.
Yeah.
Spitting
Spit in the
I have debated trying to get a couple cheaper turntables and start working on my scratch game so that when we do dances, I could actually scratch records.
Which are those?
Oh,
Depends on how
wow.
nice of a turntable you get.
Doesn't that absolutely wreck the disc though?
It depends on what kind of needle you have on.
Okay.
You can buy different types of needles. There's a really interesting movie that's inappropriate for you guys, but it's on Netflix called The Get Down. And it's all about the history of like how record scratching kind of like came to be.
How did it?
Like it was DJs that wanted the beat to never stop. So your record is eventually going to hit the end of the song or hit the end of the track. So if you have the same record on both sides, and there's a lot of math involved in scratching records. So let's say I have record spinning over here and record spinning over here. It's the same exact record. I start the song here and it's been playing for a couple minutes. I then switch my headphones to this record and I spin it back until I find a certain part of the song called the Get Down where I can match it up with the other record, and when this part hits the Get Down late in the song and this record hits the Get Down early in the song, I scratch it together and I flip the sound over to this record. That's now at the beginning of the song.
That's weird.
And then, if I want to change songs, I pull the record off, put a different record on, line up their beats so I can speed it up or slow it down, either manually or with the turntable, get it to match up, scratch it together, flip the sound over to this side.
So is that why they do the sound? It's like to hide like a
Yeah,
song?
it's to hide that you're flipping the sound of the other record. YouTube watching some actual DJs spin. Like, it's called spinning.
What about DJ Honey have?
I don't spin.
Oh,
Alright, can we move on?
dropping equations.
What side?
Yes.
17, 16.
Oop, 16's before it.
Oh, actually, I just turned 16 too, so that works too.
Sweet. We are being asked to find volume, right? Okay. So, to find our base area here, we're going to have pi times the radius squared. Radius squared is going to be 36. And my vertical, we have to calculate our vertical height.
Oh.
What do you notice about this triangle? Megan? It's a 3, 4, 5 dilation times 2. So my vertical height must be 8.
I got it.
Wait.
Is that you too?
What?
That my height is 8, not you, Karn.
I did 10. Yeah.
Can't use height as 10, gotta use height as 8. Alright, so 17.
Wait, what was
Quadratic
that?
equation.
302. Alright, let's draw this. 1. Hold up. Focus, please. So I can't focus if 9 people are talking. 1 right circular cone is set inside a larger right circular cone. Find the volume of the space between the cones if the diameter of the inside cone is 9 inches. And the diameter of the outside cone is 15. The height of both is 8 inches. Kind of your visual there. So really, I could have that if I want to connect my blue cone is blue, and this if I want to connect my red cone. Doesn't really make it that much easier to visualize. Especially because blue's on top of red, and that should not be happening, so it's kind of making my eyes upset. There we go. So, we obviously want to find the volume of the larger cone, take away the volume of the inner cone. So to find the volume of my larger cone, let's use red, because that would make sense. 1/3 pi times my radius here of the larger cone is, and that squared, not 47.5, comes out to be 56.25. And the height is 8. So then my blue cone my radius there,
4.5.
4.5, that squared
20.25.
gives me 20.25, and the height again is 8. So we want to calculate through these and find the difference between them. Here's my red shape. I get a volume of about 471.24. Have a little bit of accuracy there. And for my blue, I get almost 170. And when I take the difference between them, it should come out to be that 301.6. I wonder, if you're curious about this, you can play with it a little bit, but I wonder if there would be a way to derive this without finding both and doing the subtraction. Because volume is 1/3 the big B times the height, what if I use the donut disc as my big B? I wonder, I don't know, like I'm genuinely just asking the question. I wonder if we could find the area of the disc. Like for us, what is right here?
Should work.
Right, I wonder. That's the thing.
I'm pretty sure. Because, like, if you do, like, the reverse distributive thing.
Well, let's try it. If that's big B and that's big B, let's just take the difference of the big B's. So, 56.25 pi minus 20.25 pi. So the disk area is 113.09. This looks like it'll work out. No, close. Times pi give me 355. I thought it might fall apart. Or sorry, not times pi. What am I doing? This would then be times 8, but it still isn't going to work out. It gives me 904.
Divide by 3.
Yeah, the 1/3. Yeah, it does work. Yeah, I forgot about my 1/3 when I punched all that in. So if, which like, it makes sense that would work because if you think about if we just got rid of the middle thing and compressed this into itself, we're talking volume. Volume is consistent. It's kind of like matter. It's not created or destroyed. It just kind of can change where it is.
And they're all multiplied by the same thing, 1/3 of the height.
1/3 pi and 8. Yeah, they all share all that common. Any other questions?
Allow us to have a recording?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and say you guys can have a 3x5. The regular, I don't know if I have any right up here.
Can I have one?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So,
To write the formula.
you may have a note card of formulas. If you want to try and not have a note card, you may also do that, and that can help you get exemplary. But you can still get exemplary using the formulas. You would just need to do very well. Pass it back, please. Pass it back. You give one to. Thank you very much. And sphere homework.
Sphere. Does somebody else want my note cards?
What is that?
Say it to me.
Oh, 38.
For whenever you want a note card.
Spheres. The last homework from last night. Anything from your first section here?
Wait.
You can go all the way through 8.
Excuse the interruption. Could I please have Mia Ciprio to the office? Mia?
Can I scroll?
Yep.
I'll leave 6, 7, and 8 right there at the top. Remember, volume is 4/3 pi r cubed, whereas surface area is just 4 pi r squared.
9 to 12 wrong.
Hmm?
I got all of 9 to 12 wrong.
Check that you're using the right formula. I bet you're using the wrong formula.
It's circumference.
Yeah, you have to take the circumference to find the radius, so you got to first divide by 2 pi.
I did something really
Yeah,
long
it's
with
kind of
this
like.
thing.
On 16,
Yes. This was
is this probably giving the whole diameter we're hoping? If this is giving the whole diameter, then I would need my volume to be 4/3 pi times 18 cubed. So 18 cubed times 4 divided by 3 gives me, 7,776 pi. Or when you multiply by the pi, you get the 24,429.
Ashton
This
Smith
should work
to
out
the
right,
office,
as long as you use
please.
18 as your
Mia to the
radius.
office.
This should work out, right? I just somehow didn't get it.
That's okay. Happens sometimes. Can I go to the back?
I think it did, but I got 23,328.
Well, actually, no, it's a
Questions? We only got a couple minutes left.
Oh,
Hmm?
I got them all right for the first time.
Nice.
Wait, what was 21?
21 was 83%.